So thanks so much, Micayla and Jeff, for joining us today. Today's event is part of a series of events that we are running as part of Member Month. So kind of getting people excited about becoming an IABC member, or just reminding them about all the good things, all the reasons why they joined in the first place, and encourage them to renew. I think my membership is actually coming up for renewal as well, so I need to do that this month. But yeah, we're really excited to have this session with Micayla and Jeff, and to get a bit of a demo of IABC's digital platforms and resources. And then, yeah, whoever kind of sees this and wants to hear more, then, you know, there's loads of information on the website as well. But just to introduce Micayla and Jeff. So Micayla Felicion Davin, MBA, is the Chapter Relations Manager for IABC International, and she oversees governance, volunteer relations, and leadership opportunities for the association. Having been with IABC for more than 6.5 years, Micayla provides support to the volunteer leaders of 80 international chapters, 8 regions, and 5 international committees, including the IABC International Executive Board. Having previously worked at the Oncology Nursing Society and Worldwide ERC, Micayla has more than 10 years of experience in membership associations and volunteer engagement. And Micayla currently lives in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So thank you for joining us, Micayla. And Jeff Price serves as the Marketing and Comms Manager for IABC International. With nearly 5 years in association marketing and membership, Jeff manages membership and education marketing initiatives for IABC, as well as providing support for the World Conference and the Quill Awards. Prior to the association world, Jeff worked at strategic marketing and creative agencies, serving a multitude of clients in industries such as healthcare, business to business, consumer packaged goods, and professional services. Jeff graduated from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln with a bachelor's in journalism, and currently lives in Chicago, Illinois, where I believe it's just past 7 a.m. So once again, thank you, Jeff, for joining us so early for you. And yeah, we're excited to have this session today. I think that concludes my introduction, so I'll hand over to you both to take us through the session.
Thanks, Laura. Yes, a bit of an early start today, but that's okay. Thank you for joining us today. We have some slides that we'll put up here in a second, but I just wanted to thank you for the opportunity to talk today. For those that don't know, my name is Jeff Price, and I am the Marketing and Communications Manager with IABC. I've been in the role for just over a year now, so I've gotten a full IABC annual cycle behind me now, and there's just so many opportunities for members to take advantage of, and so that's something that we wanted to walk through with you all today. I'm just gonna pull my screen. Oh, can I share my screen?
I think you should be able to, yes. Do you have the share screen button?
Yep, it's saying that it's disabled by the host.
Let me see if I make you co-host, if that helps.
I got it, yes.
Cool, super.
All right, can everyone see my screen?
Yeah.
Perfect. So we wanted to start today just to talk about connection at IABC, and connection at IABC is a big thing, and we define it in 3 different ways. It's the opportunity to meet people, it's the professional recognition through communications, and it's working together. And here's what I mean by that. Connection is a big benefit of IABC membership, and at the international level, there are so many opportunities for that connection. We have international events like Leadership Institute, which is for those who want to get more involved in volunteering and learn more about chapter or region management. We also have the World Conference, which is our annual conference that we put on every late June, sometimes early July. And it's a big 3-day event on a global platform. And this year, we're excited to be back in New York for the 2022 conference. More information to come actually later this week about that. But we also wanted to highlight that we have some volunteer opportunities to be that you can take advantage of throughout the year as well on international committees and various task forces that are developed to create more member value, like the recently developed advocacy and the DE&I task forces. I have it here just as a small cutout. And Micayla, if you wanted to drop some of these links in the chat so that we wanted to make this presentation a little bit more interactive. And then I also wanted to just say, I should have said this before we started, if you have any questions, just because this is such a small group, like feel free to come off mute and just raise your hand or ask your question in the moment.
I wanted to jump in and talk for a second about volunteering. So like Jeff mentioned, we do have multiple international committees and task forces. So our application cycle for that, for the International Executive Board, that launches in November and is open through January. And then the committees in task force nomination cycle, that launches in January and runs through March. So if you're interested in, and I can share a link with what task forces and committees we currently have, and those might change. So we kind of take a look at, what the association's needs are each year and adjust as needed. But so just, it's a great opportunity to get to work with other communication professionals from all around the world. So I definitely encourage you to nominate for one of those positions if you'd be interested. And then, of course, there's also opportunities with your local chapter in your region as well. And that's a great way to, build your network and get some experience that you might not have in your day-to-day job as well.
Could you give us some examples of some committees or task force groups that are that exist already?
Yeah, so we have, for example, we have the Finance Committee. We have the World Conference Program Advisory Committee, which is a big one that we, like to have definitely that international perspective for. We have a DE&I committee. We have an Audit and Risk Committee. Here, I'll share the link too. Sorry, so here we go. So our committee and task force are listed there. So we have an ethics committee, the finance committee, audit and risk. The Council of Regions is also one, but that's made up of the region chair of every region. We have 8. Professional development, awards, fellows, the GCCC, which is the committee that runs our certification program. So that's the Global Communication Certification Council. I mentioned DE&I and the World Conference PAC. We also have the Trend Watch Committee, which is a new committee this year. It started as a task force last term, and that was moved into a committee. And then we have some short-term task forces, including the Foundation Grant Selection, PR and Advocacy, and the Career Roadmap Task Force, which Jeff will be telling you a bit about the Career Roadmap in a bit. Back over to you, Jeff.
All right, thanks, Micayla. And one of the other great resources that we have, kind of going back to the connection piece, is the hub. So it's not only a great place to ask your questions or share insights to the global audience, but it's also a great place to recognize your team and recognize the teammates that you work with and fellow members. And the hub, back when it was launched a couple of years ago, was meant to be the digital community of IABC members. And today it is a thriving community with ongoing conversations, ongoing dialogues, questions, very constant and consistent resources being shared out. So if you haven't taken a look at the hub already, I'd encourage you to do so. There's a lot of great insights being shared over there. Kind of going back to the connection piece too, create connection is a tag that we frequently use at IABC, but we also like to say that the inverse of that is true too. At IABC, we connect creation, and communicators are creators, and whether you take a more philosophical view that we are connecting individuals, or take it in a different context to mean that we connect through the thoughts and ideas and work and passion behind the creators. That is something that really shines through at IABC. Advance here. So how that connection happens is through a lot of great tools and resources that we provide through the association. So one of those is the Gold Quill Awards. And for those that don't know, the Gold Quill Awards is made up of 25 categories and 4 different divisions of work. And it aims to celebrate excellence in the communication profession. So we closed on the 2021 program earlier this year with more than 450 submissions, and all of that work is also professionally evaluated. So not only when you submit for the Gold Quill Awards do you have the opportunity to win, but you also have the opportunity to have your work evaluated by your peers and global peers at that. So one of the other things that we have with the Gold Quill Awards is actually just a couple weeks ago, we launched for the 2022. So we opened the call for entries. So if you want more information, you can head over to, I believe it's gq.iabc.com to find out more about the Gold Quill Awards for 2022.
Jeff, I feel like I should know the answer to this question, but in terms of the member benefit aspect, is it like a cheaper entry price for members, or?
It is, yes,
Yeah.
Significantly. And we have early bird rates that are running through January 9th, and then standard rates, and then kind of like the late rate that run through the beginning of February as well.
Okay, cool.
So plenty of time if you're thinking about any work that you want to submit. We have a few months through the end of the year and even some time in 2022 to submit. One of the other tools that we offer at IABC is the Job Center, where you can post your open positions or use it to find your next role. And the Job Center is a great part of the experience, especially for IABC members to network and kind of figure out what's next. And related to the theme of Member Month this month, it's all kind of around taking inventory of where you're at currently with your career and this along. And 2 of the things that we've launched recently at IABC has been the IABC career assessment. So as Micayla was talking about with the volunteer opportunities, there was a dedicated task force that was built around the career roadmap. And so as a part of that, we've developed in conjunction with them the IABC career assessment. So you can take a series of questions, rating style, and what it does is it helps you find your place on the career roadmap, whether that's a strategic advisor level or a generalist specialist level. and then suggest some areas for you to find additional professional development if you want to take that next step in your career. And then
now I just wanted to add that right now the career assessment it's new and it's free. So definitely encourage you to, take that now, because we don't know that it will stay that way forever.
And then we also have the virtual career fair. This is the first time that we're hosting a virtual career fair. And so we will host that on November 4th. I know that's a later time in the day for our European members, but there will be a lot of companies and fellow peers in attendance. We have a good number of individuals already signed up, so we're looking forward to that. And I think it just kind of goes back to this overarching theme of refreshing your opportunities, taking a look at your career, and really kind of finding out what's next. And then we also have, getting ahead of myself. We also have other virtual resources that are available to members, especially now in our virtual environment. We have a virtual events and resources page for chapters and regions to use. And it's one of the benefits of the virtual world has been this increased inclusivity and options for connection that in-person events can't compete with. And so we've created a page for all of the chapters throughout the world who are hosting virtual events and are accepting individuals, IABC members from across the globe to join in. So we can drop that in the chat as well. It's a good place to connect with people that you wouldn't normally interact with, whether that's from IABC's APAC or Canadian regions, or throughout the North American regions as well. All in all, what we're trying to do is to do things a little bit differently at IABC now, and what we want to do is increase access to and improve the promotions of a better member experience for everyone at every level of IABC. And a first step of that last year was to make improvements around Catalyst. So if you haven't taken a look at the new Catalyst Content Hub, I encourage you to do so. It's a great benefit of being a member at IABC. And for those that haven't heard it yet, we also launched the Pod Catalyst, which is the IABC podcast for you to tune in and learn more about what's happening in the communications profession as well as within IABC. So all of the content that you find on Catalyst and Pod Catalyst is something that you're able to kind of share out or absorb or ask questions about in the hub. And if you wanted to contribute in any way, whether you wanted to kind of be a guest on Pod Catalyst, or if you wanted to write an article on Catalyst, those are all open to you. Feel free to either reach out to myself, or if you go to Catalyst, you'll be able to find the editorial team's contact information to get more involved in there. We're always on the lookout for the next article or the next topic that we want to cover. So feel free to get involved that way. The other thing that we wanted to talk about is the education and networking that we have available at IABC. And so for IABC members only, we create almost monthly webinars with subject matter experts that inspire and educate communicators on a certain topic. You'll notice promotions of these in our weekly newsletter of the bulletin, as well as some standalone messages that we send out on a weekly basis for those webinars to get involved. Here's a screen grab of some of our webinars, just so you can take a look. And then same goes with the webinars. If there's, if you want to move past the attendee role in those webinars and you want to take more of a driver's seat, we'd encourage you to reach out to our education team, as I know they're always on the lookout for that next presentation as well. We also partner with IABC sponsors to provide some additional learning and professional development. So that's something that is both free to IABC members as well as to any non-members that want to join as well. And then we also have the IABC Academy, which includes great courses that are available to IABC members to learn more about the profession, whether that's using social media as a crisis brand newsroom, or the art of project management for the internal communicator, or enhancing organizational reputation. There's a lot of great courses that are not just 1 hour, but it's more of like an intricate and involved course that you actually go through phases on and receive certificates at the end of. There is also, getting ahead of myself again. There's also the World Conference that I mentioned earlier, which is a good segue into kind of networking at IABC, and the virtual delivery of the World Conference this past year took virtual networking to the level, to that next level. And, throughout COVID and the impacts that COVID has had, it did take a toll on that traditional networking aspect. So I think all of us have figured out how to confidently move through a Zoom world and to transition the networking pieces into this virtual environment. But I'd say networking is something that IABC does really well, and the way that they do that is they're meeting members where they're at. And so, if you think about going back to last March, there was a huge adjustment period of getting on camera and figuring out Zoom. And, if you're going to be the one to like come off and raise your hand. And so Zoom's kind of evolved with us, but IABC's also evolved in the way that we're now offering a lot more virtual networking that takes place on even a weekly basis. If you want to take a look at that virtual events and resources page. Not too long ago, Micayla and I actually had the opportunity to also join the Southern Region's Leaders Call and be a part of the great conversation that was taking place there digitally. And so that was a topic that they were talking about, is how everyone wants to use Zoom. And so, there are many ways for us to connect, whether that is breakout rooms or one-to-one coffee chats, or, sometimes it's really just that on-demand experience. So I think we can move here. And this is also a benefit of IABC membership, is the certifications that we offer for the communication management professional, the CMP, or the strategic communications management professional, the SCMP. And so I won't go too far into the certification because there is a whole website dedicated to it if you wanted to take a look. And we do offer exams throughout the year, both locally, and we're also gearing up within the next few months to launch remote proctoring. So all of your certification information can be done online.
Yeah, we have a date booked for, I believe it's the 2nd of December, to host an exam in London. So for anyone in the UK who wants to do it, we've started promoting that.
Perfect. Yeah, that's great. And one of the benefits now is that we've recently received ANSI accreditation of the certification. So it's an exciting step in the certification process, and I know all of the volunteers working on the GCCC are just thrilled to be able to offer much more endorsement and credibility into the certification from that third party. I know we didn't leave much for questions. got a couple minutes left, but I did want to open things up, and I hope we covered a lot of the resources available. I know there's probably a few things that we couldn't get to today, but did anyone have any questions? Or Micayla, did you want to jump in with any additional things?
Yeah, I just want to talk about a couple of things that are in the pipeline. And one is that we're getting ready, hopefully later this month, we'll be launching a new online directory to make it easier for you to find communication professionals that are IABC members and get in touch with them. So I certainly encourage you to log into your IABC profile if you're a member, and make sure you opt into the online directory so that you're included in that, and other communication professionals could find you too. We're also in the very early stages of launching some shared interest groups. So that will be something that's new for IABC. So definitely stay tuned for more information about that. We'll be sharing what those groups are, but that will also be a really great way to connect with your peers around the world and learn from each other and share ideas on an ongoing basis. There's no link to the directory yet because we haven't launched it, but hopefully by the end of this month, we'll start communicating the link out.
Great, thank you so much to both of you for that presentation. I don't know, Mark, Vic, Adedoyin, did you have any questions?
No, that was great. Thanks so much.
Very
Thank
helpful.
you. Take care. Bye.
Yeah, I think if I just had one question, it would be for you both personally, what would you say is your like top benefit that you've seen from IABC membership, or that you've seen people like talking about the most as their favorite benefit?
For us?
Yeah.
Oh, it depends on who you ask or who you're talking to. I think that World Conference attendance is definitely a top benefit for members. We're also launching some unique pricing this year to make the in-person event more inclusive and to make travel more affordable. We also get a lot of feedback related to the hub and the value that members find in the hub and those daily conversations, especially for individuals that are kind of running more of a freelance operation or an entrepreneurial operation. The resources that are shared so freely and the questions that are answered so freely on the hub are definitely something that people talk about a lot. And then I think the Gold Quill Awards definitely has a similar reputation as the World Conference does, with the individuals that win the awards, what the award means in their career, how individuals are able to use that to further solidify some of the relationships that they have with their clients or their agencies, or even their leadership teams.
Yeah, and I, as the chapter relations manager, it might be a little biased, but I do think that, from my perspective, the connection piece that IABC offers to global peers is just a really great benefit. And that's why we certainly encourage. I think, as Jeff was saying, we've seen so many members from around the world attending other chapters' virtual events now, and I don't think we were seeing that before. And I think that's created a lot of opportunity for networking for our members. So that's exciting for sure. I was just going to do a quick demo on how you can walk or opt into the directory, if that's okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you log into IABC.com, you'll go to my profile. And then it will take you to this account page for your profile. If you just scroll down just a little bit, did I miss it? Yeah, here. So if you just scroll down right here, there's just a checkbox that says show in the directory. So once you check that box and save, that will allow you to be opted in. So once that launches, you'll already be included in the directory.
Perfect. Thanks for showing that. I'm going to go and check my profile right now.
Yeah, me too. I was just going to say, it was not a question as such, but you shared some really great links there. I was wondering if we could, it's not easy to copy it out of the chat. So I was just wondering, is there a way we could just get that into some sort of document? Because that's a really great reference tool to, quickly, you can establish those as a set of quick links.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that as well from the chat, or if you guys have like a document or something that you have, then we can share that out. I agree, Mark. I think that would be really useful.
Yeah, we have something. We can send that along to you, Laura, and then you can pass that along to whoever you'd like.
Super, great. Well, thanks again so much. Yeah, we've still got 2 or 3 more events as part of our Member Month Festival. So yeah, really excited to see how that goes and use even this event recording as an ongoing resource for anyone who's perhaps just joined us and who wants a quick overview of all these platforms. So thanks again for sharing that. And yeah, see you all at one of our next events.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.